Welcome to my beautiful mushroom frittata. It's quick, easy, and delicious. I'm gonna do it with mushrooms, kale, cottage cheese, cheddar. It's gonna be gooey, gorgeous, and lovely.
So a helpful little swap in this frittata is to swap out the smoky bacon for the mushrooms. And cooked in the way I cook them, you're gonna get the most delicious, meaty flavor. You're not gonna miss anything.
Get yourself a nice small pan on a medium-high heat. I'm gonna whack my oven on to high. I've got 400 grams of mixed mushrooms here. I'm gonna dry fry them. It brings out the most incredible nuttiness. So I'm gonna put some in whole, I'm gonna put some in torn. The bigger ones here, slice up. When you go shopping next, have a look at the array of stuff you've got. In the pan, come and have a look at this. Can you see how I've just sort of toasted it here? That means we're kind of lightly steaming it on the inside. Let's start to conventionally fry a little bit. So I'll take a couple of cloves of garlic and just finely slice it. Go in with the garlic and a little drizzle of olive oil. And now we start to fry. A little pinch of salt and pepper, and it already smells absolutely incredible. While that's doing that, I want to whip up some eggs. I go in with 8 beautiful eggs. These are really nice free-range eggs. Whisk this fairly badly. I don't want it perfect. I quite like streaks. I'm also going to get some beautiful cottage cheese as a kind of really refreshing part and contrast to the frittata. And then the cheddar, I want about 40 grams, grate that into it, and then what better to go with the cheese than some spring onions. Finely slice it, just like that. Mix it up, and now we're ready to go. The mushrooms are looking really good. Absolutely gorgeous and smelling amazing. We can just go straight in with your sort of badly whipped eggs, like that. So now we got to kind of move with a little bit more speed. Mix it up a little bit, then blob your lovely bits of cheese in and around the frittata. This will melt and cook in different beautiful ways. Kind of last ingredient is kale. It's such an incredibly nutritious thing. And just a little bit of olive oil on here. Just get in there and just sort of rough it up a little bit. It will go crispy and it will have the most fantastic savoury flavour and it will look beautiful. So just take wadges of this and put it in and around your frittata. Loads of flavour in there. I mean, look at that. Beautiful colours. And that's already looking great. That will now go in the oven. So let that frittata cook for about 5 minutes until it's doubled in size and gone gorgeous and golden. And that's a perfect amount of time to do a quick little salad. Today, I'm going to do a nice little tomato salad. So just slice up the tomatoes like this, clanking up others. Just mix it up so you get different textures. Season it with salt and pepper, olive oil, and then get some vinegar. Red, white wine vinegar, balsamic, whatever you can get hold of. We'll just mix with the tomato juice and the oil and give you the most delicious dressing. Basil, just a few leaves, tear them up. Salad done, very happy with that. Let's have a little look at our frittata. Come on! Yes, really, really nice. Go around the edge and just make sure that it's loosened. Give it a nice little jig, turn it out, and look at that. Really, really nice. It's a lovely lunch, a nice little dinner, something a bit different. Of course, you can mix up the flavours with other things that you like. Look at that. Really, really nice. Tomato salad, really, really good. Super affordable, really delicious, and nice and healthy. The cheddar's there, the onion's really, really good. The sweetness of the tomatoes works really well. So delicious, so simple. I know you can do it. Have a go and enjoy. Hey guys, we're gonna do a beautiful sweet potato and sweet corn platter. Loads of spices, loads of flavors. So it all starts here. Sweet potatoes are the most fantastic swap out for regular potatoes. A regular potato, as fantastic as it is, doesn't count as one of your 5 fruit and veg a day. This does. So I'm gonna slice these in half and then into 8 little slithers, and then we're gonna flavor them up. So, next ingredient, sweet corn. What I wanna do is roast these as well. Really, really nice. Now, the best way I think for getting the flavor out is, of course, pepper. Then, I've got some fantastic Cajun spices. A nice tablespoon goes onto the veggies. Then I'm gonna go in with a little kiss of lovely extra virgin olive oil, and I like to put a little swig of vinegar. Right, now what this is gonna allow us to do is almost dress the veggies. The spice will stick to the sweet potatoes and the corn. So just toss it all up, and then what I like to do is just put the little sweet corn to one side, line up the sweet potatoes here. You want them in one nice layer. So this goes in the oven for about 40 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius, which is about 430 Fahrenheit. Okay, so let me wash my hands. Next, where to go? Okay, first up I want to give you a little trick, a little hack. It's not really a recipe, it's a side thought. If you go to the supermarket, you're going to find jalapeno. So what you can do, which I love, is take a little liquidizer, take a little bit of coriander, like that, tear it in, and then I'm going to put some of that liquor and some of those chilies in like that, and within seconds, you can create a very, very cool salsa, which is delicious. So in no time at all, you take your everyday and you basically create the most delicious, simple salsa, and it's incredibly refreshing. Look at that, look at the color. That is the simplest little hack ever. So next up, a little simple avocado salsa. One of the most common cuts to the hand is from an avocado stone. Hand on top, don't put pressure down, knife around the seed, just twist it like that, and then when you go to tap it, right, do it to the board, then we just twist it. So traditionally you do this in a pestle and mortar of sorts, but we're just gonna go old school on the board. So just squeeze the avo out of the skin like that. Just use that fork to mush it all up. Salt and pepper, very important. We can take parts of the herb, like the stalks that might normally go in the bin. We're not gonna do that. So I'll take the stalks here, right? Remove the leaves, and the stalks we'll just put together like a little stack, and we'll finely slice. So that can go in. I can steal a bit of this jalapeno vinegar, like that. Just put a little bit in, and we'll mush that up. One salsa down. Next up, refried beans. And simply refry again, right? Get that flavoring up. I'll use a little bit of water to clean the can out, and we'll bring that up to the heat, and then we'll season it up. This is a powerhouse of nutrition. And all we really need to do to these humble, pre-done refried beans is check seasoning. You can take a little bit of herb as well, no problem at all, and that'll be delicious. So look, what I'm gonna do is let that just tick over, let the veg cook, and then I'll show you how simply you can bring it all together and enjoy. So, get yourself a little bowl and we'll serve that up. All of that is gonna go into your tortilla and become the most delicious mouthful. Let's push our platter forward like that. I wanna show you another little hack. If you wanna bring tortillas back to life, okay, get a gas hob on, and all I wanna do is heat them up. Literally just pop them on like that, get a tong. I just pretty much heat them for like 10 seconds on each side. So when you put the tortillas on top of each other like that, they'll keep each other nice and warm. Let's get the veg from the oven. Look at this. We've got the char on the corn. Just line those up. You can have the corn, whole like that, or we can take them off the corn. With the sweet potatoes, let's just rack them up. Look at that. See, with the corn, you can keep them whole like that, or very simply, get a knife and just run your knife down the corn. So look, guys, this is the basis of it. It's completely vegan. It's really affordable. Take your tortilla, take those amazing refried beans. Then we're gonna go in with just a couple of those lovely sweet potatoes. Look at that. A little sprinkle of the corn. And now we want the freshness and that salsa, that little hack. All you gotta do now is just roll it up and get it in there. And that is delicious. This one is a cracker. This is my crispy chicken and broccoli noodles. So good, so fast, you're gonna love it. So I've got a big pan, fry pan, non-stick, on a high heat. So get that going. I'm gonna use some sesame seeds. Really, really tasty. They look amazing, they taste great, and beautiful, heart-healthy fats. So really, really nice. About 2 tablespoons goes in, give them a little shake, and let's just toast it up. So that's the first bit. Second one, check this out. These are beautiful rice noodles. Just a kettle of water over the top. In about 3 or 4 minutes, these will be cooked, ready and raring to go. We've got some lovely chicken breasts. And then we've got beautiful little broccolini here, which is fantastic. You can eat the whole thing. So it's almost like asparagus, really. So sweet and so delicious. You know, we've got 220 grams of this, so you get a nice big portion of one of your 5 fruit and veg a day. In the pan here, you can see that little bit of heat is changing the color of the sesame seeds. So as soon as that's toasted, shake it to one side of your pan and just put it onto a little dish. So first job is your chicken. So I'll get a second board and I'll slice up my chicken with another knife, about 1.5 centimeters in size. By doing this, it's gonna cook really quickly. So we can give it a little seasoning of salt and pepper. And then the hero ingredient is 5 spice. And I'm gonna shake about 2 teaspoons of 5 spice on the chicken. So just by adding the seasoning and the 5 spice, you've guaranteed incredible flavor and amazing crispiness on the outside. So we'll go straight to the pan, which has got nothing in it at the moment. So just get a pair of tongs or a spoon, move the chickens around. We've got no oil here yet. Just a tablespoon of oil goes in. Now it starts to fry. So that spice on the chicken will start to get golden and gnarly. Now what this needs now is a little bit of funk, right? So garlic is always a loyal friend. And we'll just sprinkle those in. Wow, it smells amazing. Now the hero ingredient really for me is this broccolini. So what I like to do is just use the tip of the knife to trim off the beautiful little flowers. And what that allows us to do is show off just how beautiful they are and cook them in a fraction. On the other side, we got these stalks, which again are very tender, but what I want to do is just slice these about 1/2 centimeter thick at a slight angle if you can. So now we've got color on this chicken. Have a little look in this pan. Can you see? The chicken is crispy, it's golden, it's sizzling. Then we can go in with the stems, which really only need a minute. So this dish is a minute away, pretty much already. I'm gonna drain my noodles. Get rid of that excess water, and then just put it in a bowl over there. They'll remain absolutely beautiful and they'll drain off nicely. So look, noodles are done, chicken and the stems are looking beautiful. I wanna show you the quickest sauce ever. 1 or 2 teaspoons of chili jam. So you get heat and you get sweetness. Then we're gonna go in with 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar or rice wine vinegar. Take your pick. Then we're gonna go in with 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. So that's your basic seasoning going in there like that. And then 1 teaspoon or 2 of sesame oil. So the chicken is now cooked, but juicy. The actual broccoli leaves, the flowers, they're gonna go in now, just for literally 40 seconds. So again, try and work on your tossing action. Like, look at it, just beautiful. So we'll serve it up now. It's that easy. You can take your nice hot steaming noodles, really beautiful, texturally really nice to slurp on. So in with the sauce we go, and it's gonna sizzle, right? But look at that. Oh, so good. So I'm doing that off the heat, and then I can drag the chicken and the broccoli and those juices. Look at the juices, yes. So a last little embellish of the sesame seeds. Go chopsticks, mix it all up, or knife and fork, whichever way you like it. So there you go, lovely people. Look at that, so good, so quick. It's perfect for busy people that like big flavors. So get your noodles, get your chicken. What's really lovely about this is you kind of have those flavors that you want, the heat, the soy, the garlic, the sesame, but it's fresh. So good, so tasty, so quick. Come on, have a cook up. Now I'm going to show you a beautiful homemade warm salad with shredded Brussels sprouts, bacon, spinach, sliced orange, an amazing dressing and homemade croutons. Come on. It's beautiful, delicious, and it's really fun to make. So let's do this. Get yourself a pan on. We're going to use, for the beginning of the flavour, bacon. And you don't have to go mad on the bacon, right? So we want to make them healthier. So that's also about restraint. So 4 slices is all we need, and just slice it up as fine as you can. So what we want to do is get that crispy. I'll add that to the pan, and immediately that'll start crispening up. Add a little olive oil to the pan and just move it all around It already smells amazing. At the heart of this dish is the crouton. So a clever little healthy swap is to make your own crouton, because we can trade up from white bread to like a mixed seed brown bread, right? So you get more fiber, more goodness, and more flavor, honestly. So if you get like 3 centimeter slices, just try and slice this up into like centimeter-ish cubes. We're gonna use this bread to make the best croutons ever. So if you look in the pan now, the bacon's getting lightly golden. Take these croutons and just sprinkle these in. We'll give it a nice little shake. We're not gonna rush this, right? We're gonna kind of take about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes on a medium heat. Just keep moving it, tossing it around, getting it golden, crisp, and delicious. So they're gonna blow your mind, okay? So, let's get onto the Brussels sprouts. What you can do is just cut your Brussels sprout in half, put this onto its flat edge, then we can just rock chop and go as fine as you can. And that's gonna give you a completely different texture, more like a slaw. Now, if you're worried about your knife skills, don't worry. Use a food processor, and literally in seconds, you just basically done. So we have our beautiful Brussels sprouts. For the people that are not converted yet, with a little bit of helping hand from the world's best croutons, it's gonna be so, so good. People will fight for it, I promise you. So next, we're gonna do a lovely dressing. So, so simple. First and foremost, extra virgin olive oil. And then I'm gonna go in with some nice balsamic, delicious, about a tablespoon. Baby spinach, beautiful. We could actually just put the Brussels sprouts in raw, and I actually love it. But what I quite like to do in this recipe is just soften them a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is just get these croutons and just shake them to one side like that, and put these beautiful Brussels into the pan. Give them a little mix around, and a little bit of heat for 2 or 3 minutes just softens them, makes them a pleasure to eat, and makes them cling onto the dressing in the most beautiful way. This dressing and this salad is gonna come together beautifully. The last bit is the oranges. Just get a bit of that lovely orange zest for later. And this is a fantastic garnish, but it's beautiful and it smells incredible. And then what I'm gonna do, I'll peel it and then gorgeous little slices, thin as you can. You can lay that around our plate here. Back to the pan here, take all of this into here, and this is why it's called a warm salad, right? So we need a little bit of speed. I'm gonna put this back on the heat. There's one last thing I wanna do, and that's introduce some hazelnuts. A handful, just to wake up the flavor. It's gonna be amazing. So while they're toasting, just get into a nice big bowl, get your hands in there, and give it a proper dress. Do not let any leaf or bit of Brussels go undressed, okay? That is the joy of a good salad. Look at that. Nice and quick, so you don't cook the spinach. So it's a big, tasty, substantial salad. And then I'm gonna take these beautiful toasted hazelnuts, I'll whack them in a little pestle and mortar, bash up the hazelnuts, and we're literally gonna let it rain down the little bits of orange zest. That, my friends, is a properly tasty salad. Crispy bacon, homemade croutons, Brussels with lovely spinach, orange and balsamic. Gorgeous. Let's get in there. I know this is gonna be amazing. Those croutons are insanely good. Hi guys, hope you're well. So I want to show you a beautiful root veg hash with gorgeous fried eggs. It's a fantastic brunch, lunch or dinner. So let's do it. We've got some parsnips here. I'm not going to peel them because it's easier, it's quicker, it's more nutritious and you got more flavour. All I want to do is just take the bare ends off here where the root is, plank it up into big like inch-sized chunks. Super easy and really quick to do. So I've got potatoes, 400-500 grams, cut into roughly the same size chunks. Get yourself a nice large pan with some boiling water. Put into the water these parsnips and these potatoes. I've got 2 onions. Cut the onion into quarters. And that could go into the water too. Lid on top, boil that for 10 minutes until nice and tender. Then I'll show you what to do next. So these veggies have had about 10 minutes. So let's just drain these. So the nice thing about this method is we're taking the rawness out of the veggies, obviously, and now they're fluffy and ready to become crisp and gorgeous. So let those steam for a little bit. And look, at this point, you know, we've got parsnips, onions and potatoes. If you wanted to put other root veg in there, sort of turnips or carrots, you can mix this hash up and make it your own. So in a pan, we are gonna get it onto a nice sort of medium-high temperature. I want to go in with a little bit of olive oil and then finely slice half of a chili, garlic, 2 cloves. If you want to use a herb, that's optional. A nice little bit of thyme is really, really nice. Beautiful. Next up, we're going to go in with a nice teaspoon of whole grain mustard. I love whole grain mustard. And in this hash, it's beautiful. Smells amazing already. And then in with our root veg. Toss it all around. And there's no real right or wrong, but you want to basically mash it up. I quite like to make it a bit chunky mash, not completely pureed. Mash it a bit, mix it around, fry it a bit, mash it a bit. It's a little bit like a bubble and squeak. Kind of pat it into the shape of the pan. And then what I'll do is I'll mix it and pat it down every 2 minutes for about 20, 25 minutes until golden and gorgeous. And that will give you the most fantastic hash ever. Delicious. So look, after 20 minutes, you can see it's sizzling, it's crackling, it sounds and smells amazing. I can take that wooden spoon and really start to shape the outside really nice. I can see it's nice and golden. So look, let's get a platter or a board. Put that on top of your pan like this. Be confident, you can get a tea towel if you like, and then just switch it like that. And then what you get, amazing. Put this same pan back on the heat with a little kiss of oil, and I'm now gonna do the fried eggs, but I wanna do it with a little bit of a tweak. Take the leftover bit of the chili, slice it up, and try and distribute the chili evenly across the pan. So I'm just gonna put in there 4 beautiful free-range eggs. Crack the eggs over the chili. So the chili and egg become one. And just move the eggs around, look at that. And then a lid goes on top. Just turn that heat down and just coddle those eggs until they're soft and runny and just beautiful. So leave that for a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna show you how to make a really nice dressing. So it's a simple, simple recipe. A teaspoon of beautiful whole grain mustard, 1 tablespoon, give or take, of vinegar, and a couple of olive oil. Get a lid on there, and then just give it a good old shake. And that way you're gonna make a really beautiful emulsified whole grain mustard dressing. That will be so, so good with some beautiful watercress. So watercress for me, absolutely delicious. A little bit of that dressing. The rest of it, you can pop this back in the fridge for another day. That will keep nicely. This, we can just dress up. That will taste amazing. Now look in here. That lid just gives it just enough steam to coddle it, but it's still soft. And then literally all I'm gonna do now is just let that go on top of our beautiful hash like that. Bust up our eggs. Look at that, come on. And then I just think we've got like a really fun, delicious dish. It could be a lunch, it could be a brunch, it could be a supper, but a brilliant way to get root veg into your life. Let's have a little try, come on. Let's get in there. It's really soft and fluffy on the inside, crispy on the outside. Hit that up with some egg, chili, let the chili's in there, come on. It's such a beautiful thing. I'd be happy to have that any day. Let me show you a really simple and reliable way to prep and cook rhubarb. I think rhubarb is one of the highlights of the year. It's so tasty. It's just so juicy and delicious and tangy and gorgeous. And we often use it as a fruit, but actually it's a vegetable, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to prep it, how to cook it. I wanna just slice it up about 1 centimeter thick. This is the rock chopping method. So rock chopping is very, very simple, okay? You just do that, same time every single time, and you move it down the vegetable or whatever it is that you're cutting. So let's just do it one more time, and I'll show you. You can cut it in half and double it up. You can see my thumb is placed back here. See the thumb, right? And you can see that I'm just doing this chopping, rock chopping, and I'm bringing my fingers towards my thumb. On the rhubarb, if you've got any leaves, simply remove them. You can't eat the leaves of rhubarb. You need for this a nice big pan. Get it on fairly high heat. 300 grams is a nice amount of sugar for 2 kilos of rhubarb. If it is more acidic, you just add 50 grams more sugar and go with the flow. I'm not gonna add any water at all. There's enough water in here. One thing I do love to do myself, I just have a little bit of thyme that I put in there. You don't have to. Put it in as a whole bunch. I'll take it out later. It's just gonna kind of give a little bit of a nice kind of savouriness. I tend to just take a thumb-sized piece of ginger. What I like to do is take these bits of skin, put those with boiling water, and a little bit of lemon skin, right? Delicious little, you know, therapeutic teas. Or if you're cooking some rice, you know, just 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water, pinch of salt, and some of those little skins, and it will just infuse a lovely flavour into your simple rice. Very delicious. I like just to grate it on a fine grater like this. Basically, it's like a teaspoon of ginger that goes in. And that is my basic kind of mothership rhubarb recipe. Let's give it a nice little stir up. You'll see the natural water starting to come out of the rhubarb. The smell will be phenomenal. This will fill the house with the most amazing smells. So give it a nice little stir, bring this to the boil, turn it down to a little simmer, cook it for about 10 to 12 minutes. That will give you perfectly cooked rhubarb and a kind of cordial. Now, if you want, you can separate those and have a bottle of cordial and beautifully cooked rhubarb and do what you want with it. That cordial, ice, lemon juice, water, delicious little drink. Or you can continue to cook it for about 20 minutes and you'll have a lovely thick compote. Now, I'll let that cook and then I want to give you lots of ideas of how could you use that. Not just crumbles, not just pies. Let's think sweet, savoury, breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner. Right, cook away. Okay, so I've turned the heat off now. I gave it about 15 minutes. And what you can do is remove the herb. So let's just talk about how do we serve it. Of course, you could put that into a lovely pie. You could serve it, you know, on lovely overnight oats like this, gorgeous. So that will keep in the fridge at least for a couple of weeks. Happy days. You can bag it up, freeze it if you want. But let's talk about savoury first. If you were to take things like salami, prosciutto, ham, this is some bresaola, which is a cured top side of beef, right? And then to go with that, we'll take a little bit of this beautiful poached rhubarb, you know, have it with some nice peppery rocket like that, and just finish it with a little squeeze of lemon juice and some olive oil and a little bit of parmesan and a touch of pepper. We can also go into the world of cocktails. What we can do is go slightly more Bellini-like and get just that lovely kind of cordial over to your glass and then simply top it up with champagne. I've got a pasta feast with 2 beautiful salads that you're going to learn how to do in way under half an hour. Orecchietti with purple sprouting broccoli and normal broccoli. Then we've got 2 salads. The first one is a beautiful courgette salad with chili and mint. Then we've got one of the good old classics, prosciutto and melon, a brilliant combination. First things first, I'm going to do the pasta and the pasta sauce. I want to grate some parmesan. So what I'm going to do is take that rind off there. Actually, I'm going to show you what to do with that in a minute. I've got this parmesan here. I've got my food processor and a fine grater here. And I'm just gonna, literally, it takes 5 seconds, and look how lovely that is. I'm gonna change the blade from the grater to the sort of general processor blade, and I'm gonna use that to make the sauce. Now, the sauce here is made out of this classic broccoli. Then we've got the sprouting broccoli here. Beautiful. I'm just literally gonna take the bare ends off of the purple sprouting broccoli. These are the woodier ends, and these are quite soft and tender. So I'm going to put these to one side. And then with this sort of classic broccoli, all I'm going to do is use the tip of my knife and just take the little sort of flowers off like that. You know, most people would throw that away. I'm going to create incredible flavour with this. These will go in a colander, in the pasta water at the last minute. These lovely green ones here, these will go in at the last minute as well. And then I'm just going to put the broccoli stalks in here. We want that heat there, so I'm going to crumble up 1 or 2 dry chilies into here. A couple of cloves of garlic. I'm going to use my little garlic crusher. Nice pinch of salt and pepper, just for some basic seasoning. And then anchovies. I'm going to pour the oil from the tin in with about 4, 5 anchovy fillets. I'm going to wazz it up. Let's get my boiling water, turn on the gas stove. We've got the base of the sauce done here. Get that on full whack. Olive oil in a pan, and just put that lovely mix What I want to do with that sauce now is put some water in it. So I'm just going to put a splash in there, literally a wine glass. So let me explain what's happening in that pan. For the next 3 to 4 minutes, I don't have to worry about it because the water's in here. It's going to soften up, it'll be cooked, and then it will start frying again, and then we'll finish the pasta. So another thing, that rind, you know, in Italy, they don't throw this away. It's not particularly edible, but it is salty, and it is a wonderful quality piece of cheese. So they just plop it in the sauce like that, and it basically seasons the dish. And then I want to use 4 or 5 sprigs of that lovely thyme. So let's get the pasta in. This pasta takes about 12 to 14 minutes to cook. So everything's working there. Now I can get on with the salad. Get yourself a nice platter. I'm going to get about 4 sprigs of mint here. Just take the leaves off. And then what I'm going to do is sort of just gather it up and then just slice it up. So once I've gone through it like that, I'm going to just sort of straight in the plate, OK? And mint, one of its very true best friends, is chilli. I'm just going to remove the stalk like that, split it in half, run the knife down the length. Don't rush. You can use the tip of your knife just to scrape the seeds out. Just finely chop the chilli, just like you did the mint. I'm just going to add this chilli. So we're going to season it, a little salt and pepper, and also a little lemon zest. Get one of these fine graters or a little fine box graters. Get yourself a washed lemon, and then just zest. And the smell is incredible. Some good olive oil. I've got my lemon juice here. That should be lovely. OK. So that's that. I want to show you a couple of things just to kind of get you going a bit. Courgettes. We've got yellow courgette here. I've got the traditional courgette, as you probably well know them, and these little baby ones. These little beautiful baby courgettes, if you eat them, they've got a crunch to them. They're an absolute pleasure, you know, to eat with. If you put it with some of that dressing, it's amazing. So I'm going to use our lovely little speed peeler here, and I'm going to just shave baby courgettes into our dressing like that. Then we've got the yellow ones. These are much easier to grate. You get these beautiful ribbons. This is our traditional courgette here. Again, you can really speedily go through this. So just rattle through that. And then basically, this salad is pretty much there. Look at these beautiful ribbons here. I won't dress those yet. What I've got here is some bocconcini. They're beautiful little things. They're so soft and silky. So look, I've got the beautiful crunchy zucchini salad, the dressing, and the bocconcini. I'm going to finish it at the last minute so the dressing is as best as it can be. The pasta is just over half cooked, and then I'm going to put these sprouting broccoli and the regular broccoli into the water. So, lid back on. Now I want to make a refreshing prosciutto, melon and basil salad. Get yourself some melons first. I've got Megalia here and my cantaloupe here. I'm just going to cut it in half to show you the different colours that you get, OK? So you've got that lovely kind of rosy orange colour there and the fresh green. There's no right or wrong. Get a spoon. That's going to be the best friend in this little salad. Get the seeds out first just by twiddling, you know, and pushing out the seeds. Get yourself a nice platter that you're proud to serve on. Get your spoon and just stuff it into that melon just like that and pull out these little delicate pieces of melon. And you'll get about 5 or 6 out of each half. So there you go. And then the other one. That's why I like the different colours as well. You don't have to do this, but, you know, it's nice to make it beautiful. You don't have to scrape out every last bit of the melon, because what you can do is just squeeze it like that. OK, so to make this beautiful, the prosciutto, when you lay it down, just sort of don't kind of try and organise it. Just let almost gravity, you know, the least work you can do, the better. Just pull it around so you can see everything nicely. And then I'm going to dress it, and that's what's going to give it the edge. So to dress it, what I want to do is get a pestle and mortar, and it takes literally seconds. Just pick off 12 little basil leaves, just like that, with a nice pinch of salt to make it abrasive. pound it up to a mush. And then I'm just going to, in there, I'm going to add a little olive oil. It's hard to see the incredible colours at the moment, but you'll see them in a minute. And just a little bit of that lemon juice from earlier. And then I'm just going to put that over this beautiful salad, over some of the bits of prosciutto here as well. And that is what's going to take it to another dimension. That tiny little bit of effort is going to make that classic old salad absolutely be stomping. I purposefully pick these smaller basil leaves, and then from a height, just sort of position and click them around. And then a little kind of scrappy drizzle of olive oil on top, and then just that little bit of balsamic vinegar just makes it work. That is a beautiful thing. I love it. So I'm going to put that at the table now. So the first thing done, let's just get a mug or a jug or something and just nick yourself a load of that starchy, hot cooking water. We're going to turn the gas off. Let's get our pasta. Let's drain it. If you look in this pan right now, it looks ugly, OK? I'm going to put in some cooking water, and immediately it'll change colour and go more creamy looking. So I can turn the heat off now. We can go in with this pasta. We go in with some cooking water and a nice handful of that Parmesan that you can just break up in your hand and just mix it up. But basically, that's the 30-minute meal done. If it is dry, add more water. Get yourself a nice big platter. When you do pasta, it's not a fluke. It might be humble and cheap, but you've got to have it silky and smooth and seasoned. And if you get those things happening, the flavours will pop. When you do grate your Parmesan over, it will be absolutely beautiful. Tiny bit of pepper, a little bit of olive oil. Also, if you want to put some lovely flowering, you know, thyme and stuff on there, just to remind people what the flavours are, you can. That can go to the table. This salad, now all you've got to do now, it's been sitting there waiting to be done. Just use your fairy fingers and just sort of twinkle your fingers and make it scruffy on purpose. Give your food attitude. And then you've got these lovely balls of mozzarella. And of course, there's nothing stopping you taking a few mint leaves just to dress it up. And there you go. 2 fragrant salads, a beautiful mum and pup's pasta, all in under half an hour. Brilliant.
Baking that's incredibly easy and outrageously tasty.
We are going to make the most amazing dessert. We're going to do a tarte tatin. You will not believe that we can do this so quickly and so beautifully with 5 ingredients.
You'll need mixed juicy plums, ground cinnamon, maple syrup, or butter puff pastry, and vanilla ice cream.
Inspired by Canada, right? Maple syrup, cinnamon, beautiful seasonal plums. So it starts here with pre-bought all butter puff pastry. It's many layers of pastry and butter and pastry and butter. So much care and love goes into making this. It's an amazing thing for sweet or savoury items. So there's our pastry already done. Now, we're going to get this going so quickly you will not believe.
Use a 26cm non-stick oven-proof frying pan.
Let's get it on a high heat and let's get our lovely plums. 600 grams. You can use these or represent whatever is fantastic and in season, right? Peaches, apricots. I've even done it with rhubarb, really nice. So just run the knife around, twist it, just get that little stone, pull it out, put the fruit straight into the pan. I'm just going to add a splash of water, a couple of tablespoons, just to soften up the plums a little bit. Little shake up. And then the maple syrup. Liquid heaven. I mean, what is lovelier than maple syrup? 120 millilitres goes into the pan. Give it a little chivvy around, bring it to the boil, and now it's spice time. So we're going to use a little level teaspoon of cinnamon. You've got to go subtle on this stuff, though. Just a level teaspoon goes in, sprinkle it in from a height. It smells incredible, and that's it. It's pretty much done. All I want to do now is let's get the puff pastry, turn it out, and I'll put it straight onto the pan. No mucking about. Straight in like that. And then we can pull in the pastry. Right, almost push the fruit into the middle.
don't use your fingers at home, use wooden spoons.
So really push your pastry into the sides. And then you can see here the little bits of maple syrup and fruit juices getting in there. And that sort of jammy, juicy part will really caramelise on that edge of the puff pastry. It'll be the most beautiful bit. So in the oven it goes. I like to put it in the bottom of the oven for 15 to 20 minutes at 220 degrees Celsius or 425 Fahrenheit, and it'll be golden, crisp, it'll be jammy and caramelised around the edge, the fruit will be beautiful. What I would suggest you do now is get some nice quality vanilla ice cream, either in the fridge or at room temperature, and by the time that's ready, that'll be perfectly scoopable.
Check your pud after quarter of an hour. That's all it takes to puff your pastry to perfection.
It looks amazing. Just have a little look at it as it is, blipping away, caught, gnarly, steaming. But if we let it cool down, it's gonna stick to the pan. So we need to turn it out quick. So to do this, you wanna be a little bit careful because, you know, caramel's hot, sleeves down. Put something like a platter or a board on top of our beautiful tatin. And with confidence, grab the pan, nice and safely, grab the board and do a nice little twist. 1, 2, 3.
Be extra careful. Make sure you've got a firm grip and flip.
The colours are phenomenal. Get all of the caramel out of the pan. Look at that. The fruit, the juice, the caramel, you know, the cinnamon's there, the maple syrup. Come on! Let's portion some up. So you're gonna get 6 out of this. So a nice generous wodge. Come on, look at that. It's so beautiful. So over to the plate. And then vanilla ice cream, an absolute must with this. And where you've cut that beautiful portion, just get some juice in and just put that over the top. And if you've got good cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil, a tiny, tiny little drizzle over the vanilla ice cream. It's amazing. Enough talking. Time to tuck in. I want to get a bit of everything. What I love is that where it kind of gets burnt and caught around the edges, they're my favourite bits. What a delicious, delicious and very beautiful dessert that is. 5 ingredients, very simple.
My ridiculously easy plum tartatin. A pleasure to cook and a joy to share. My Celeriac Remoulade. Served with silky waves of cured meats, get your mates round and I'll bet there'll be none left by the time they leave.
Everything's gone mad. Miss Celeriac's gone mad. The weather's gone mad. Anyway, this, my friends, is what a supermarket Celeriac looks like. And definitely, I mean, look, the effort went in. This is gonna be lovely seasonal and it's gonna taste beautiful. But yeah, it didn't work this year, but that's growing, right? So look, I'm gonna make a dish called a remoulade. It's a really, really nice salad. It's a French classic. It's a bit like a slaw. It's one of those little recipes where you can turn crunchy vegetables into something really wonderful. So look, let's have a little prep up here. Take the greenery off. Then we've got those little roots here. These are edible, so I'll keep these here for something else. Celeriac's got that lovely sort of celery, mushroomy flavour, and that is really good with hot or cold smoked fish and really good with cured meats. Now, in a minute, one of my friends is turning up who actually specialises in British cured meats, and he's going to bring a whole bunch of stuff, so that's why I'm making this. If you use a speed peeler, it's super easy. And then I want to shred them up into matchsticks. So let's get on with the dressing. We're going to start off with a nice couple of spoons of lovely mayonnaise. And we really want to flavour this up to be utterly delicious. We'll go salt, and pepper, for sure. And then we've got some little friends here. Dijon mustard, heaped teaspoon. We're going to use a cornichon, those little pickles. And actually, this one that I'm doing now is more kind of nodding towards a classic French-style remoulade, but you'll see people use piccalilli. And even if you go to like New Orleans, Louisiana, where there's a kind of French, Cajun sort of influence, you'll see them using like paprikas and smoky flavors, and they go red. Just take a little teaspoon of capers here, and we'll just run the knife through that. And then here, we've got some anchovies. Just a couple. Don't need much, it's a gesture. Extra virgin olive oil, just to posh up the mayo. Now, you can use a little lemon or vinegar, but I think the lemon's quite nice and fresh. So now the herbs. Cherville's a really good one to grow, by the way. Chives, very, very nice, and some parsley. And then just mix it up. So that is the base for our remoulade. Right, what I want is nice little thin slices of celeriac. Once you've got like 7 or 8 slices, put them together like a pack of cards and just finely slice them like that. And the finer you make it, the more delicate this incredible salad will be. And absolutely, you can use like a box grater and coarsely grate it. Really easy, even easier. But I quite like it when it's delicate like this. People always think of salads being sort of summery, spring, but of course, if you think about coleslaws, like the remoulade, you just want crunchy stuff that's seasonal. It's really nice to know how to turn these things into real elegance. Look at that. I find that lemon juice really brings out the flavour nicely, and it keeps the celeriac really white and very beautiful. And then I kind of go from sort of tossing it delicately to almost massaging it. It starts bringing out the natural moisture and making it taste really, really good. Just a little bit of herb on top. Little drizzle of oil. And that is ready and waiting for Matt's incredible cured meats. That with a few bits of lovely toasted bread, and we're good to go. Thanks for coming down. This is very exciting. Can I?
Yeah, open it, yeah.
Go on!
So I've brought for you a huge selection of our charcuterie. All of this made by ourselves, British meat in the UK.
Can I try some?
Yeah, tuck in. This is our culatello. This has been aged for about 2 years.
Wow. So in that 2 years, what actually happens? You get more complexity of flavour?
Yeah, very similar to what's happening. Do you know when you have a really good cheddar or Parmesan, you get those little white crystals, little crunchy bits. That's exactly what's going on in this piece of meat. That's just that sort of natural like umami just exploding in your mouth. Like.
It's so sweet, and the salt is just right.
We've actually taken a lot of inspiration from Italy.
But why would you not, right?
The recipes work, the flavors work. The only thing we can add to their flavor profile is the meat we have in this country. That's what we want to do. And that's what British charcuterie is all about.
Look how amazing that remoulade looks with your cured meats. Look at that. Can I do your little plate?
Definitely. I can't wait.
What I love about this is if you took that out at little family gatherings, you know, bonfire night, that is going to be devoured, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to hang about. Everyone in the family is going to tuck in.
Right, I'm going to give you a wodge of this so you get one of your 5 fruit and veg a day. Fresh out of the ground, like an hour ago. But you can get them in the supermarkets and they're really good. So there you go.
Oh, it's beautiful. The freshness, the nuttiness is going to go so well with the charcuterie.
Crunchy, soft, the little pops of pickle.
You've got a lot of fat within that charcuterie. It has to be there for it to work. So you need that acidity to go with it. But the sort of nutty, full flavour of the celeriac, it's lovely.
Savoury, silky, so good. Next time you go shopping, if you see celeriac, don't walk past it. They're going to look more like this, the big ones. Mine were tiny, but you can't tell they were tiny in there, can you?
They chop up the same.
They tasted delicious. And also, if you see British charcuterie out there, support it. Because the more you support it, the better and better it's going to get.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Hi, lovely people. How many of you, after Christmas or through the years, you have so much of Brussels sprouts, special when you cook? There are always Brussels sprouts left, boiled, baked, God knows. Also, you pull up the fridge, and what do you find? Brussels sprouts. But let me show you how to use the Brussels sprouts. What we're gonna do, we're gonna make with the leftover of a Christmas or New Year's or through the years. You see the way I'm moving up like that? Brussels sprouts. This is simple way. Do it with a pasta, which you will enjoy that. So here I got some lovely Brussels sprouts, which they're still raw. I don't have to blanch it, but if you do have, they're blanched quicker. They're also really, really good. But look at that, I just picked it up from here. An extra one. I just cut them in half and a quarter. And look at that beautiful color. Inside the pan I have about 2 liters of water. I get dry pasta. This is linguine, the word linguine, because they're flat. They used to call them a sparrow tongue. Just go straight in. Oh, easy. And let it cook. Let it bubble along. While this one bubble along, this is all in a real time. I got some lovely pancetta. I got some Parmesan cheese. I got garlic. So first of all, just to get about 2-3 slices of a pancetta and all bacon. Just cut them all up. It just is about for a couple of people. Look, small pieces. Did you understand me when I talk? Because sometimes I don't understand myself. Oh, bless you. It's done. Let's move this one on simmer it. You know, downside, this is because this is an agar. That side is really hot. This side is a simmery nicely. But, you know, you don't have to do an agar. You know, you just can do an ordinary stove. So let's put some salt inside. Just a little bit. Each liter about 5 to 7 grams of salt. Then pan on it. Always with the lid. Nice couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Come on, Gadget, come on, come on. You have to dance when you do this one. It's Christmas time, festivity time, it's joyful because it's in a celebration to use the leftover. You don't have to throw them away. You don't have to give them, you just cook it. And it's such a nice way. And this is one of the simplest ways to do it. Right, plate's nearly broken, but doesn't matter. Then you get all the pancetta. Just put it inside. See that? I use this one for a minute. Look at that. Just a little bit more. Go, Gadget. Right. Just get a couple of cloves of garlic. If they're smaller like this one, you have a 3. Crush them a little bit. Peel it and crush it. Okay, look at that. Crush it. Again, crush it. Actually, I cut them like this one, roughly, because you can always remove it if you don't like it. Just put them all inside. And again, look at that. It's almost dry. It cooks nice. Just put them on top here for you to see. Yeah, that's good. Do you know what? I'll put it back again. Because I have no rooms here. Probably I will have a room here, right? Little chili, I love chili. Who don't love chili? Everyone. Little chili. So you need about 1/4 of a chili. Make sure it's not strong. quite a big chili, this one. Right, let's just put me on the side because I want to show you what I'm doing. Fantastic. Let the chilies get in. Okay, just a little bit. Right, let's stir it a little bit. I only wanted to show you step by step what actually I do because it's so simple. Anyone can make it. When I said it's in the celebrations to use the leftover, it is in a celebration because don't forget that plant was growing. You remove it and then you put them inside the fridge or you left it away. And what do? You throw them away? No, you don't. Let's celebrate it to this lovely plant. Well, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Then again, that is cooked nice. I'm going to get a little bit of a pasta water. Yeah, got it? Just a little bit inside. Look at the sizzling. It's deglazing as well. Just put it back because you need a little bit of water. Get a Brussels sprouts and cut it anywhere without wasting anything the way you like. Big, small, quarter and a half. Blanch it if you needed to blanch it, or you already have a blanched. See, that only takes a few minutes. And so a lovely crispy. Start to put them all inside. Again, look at that. And you saute those. Let's put it back. Then I'm quick. I move left, right, left, right. Again, never chuck them away anything. Oh yeah. They all in. Season a little bit, but not too much, because don't forget, if you use some bacons also already salt, or if you use pancetta, it's already a bit of salt inside. Okay, I'm going to put a little extra of extra virgin olive oil. If you don't have extra virgin olive oil, will do. Come on, gadgets! Just a little bit of a pasta water. Cover and let it cook for about 2-3 minutes, no longer than that. In the meantime, here in a bowl, I got some sage, thyme, and rosemary. And again, we are using a leftover. So when you have got lots of leftover bread, just put them on a kind of a mouli, or just to do with a knife, and then toast it with a little bit of olive oil. And then if you have some herbs, again, use all the leftover herbs. Just put them in a bowl like this one. You can see they're all wrapped. Some of them big, some of them small. Then you have a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of sage, a little bit of thyme. Now, lovely Parmigiano on top. You know, this is the greatest inventions Italy ever made it. Just mix it. And you have a lovely crunchiness on top. This is ready. It's only take 2-3 minutes because I slice they're quite thin. If you slice thicker, give an extra minute. But this is quick pasta. Ready? And it goes. Look at that. Oh my God, they're really tender as well. So it's done. Nothing goes. So let's put it back to this one again. What are you talking? No, I can't say because everybody said, what are you talking about, this man? Pasta was cooked in exactly the same times. You don't have the spaghetti, you got some leftover pasta. You got tagliatelle, put them inside. You have a penne, put them inside. You have a bucatini, put them inside. You have a gomiti, put them inside. You know what? You made some lovely ravioli. What to do? Just do it. Just use it, boil it, put them inside. That's good. Today, how we going along, use the leftover. It is a joy. A lovely, you appreciate more. You done it, you use something which you was going to chuck them away. You don't anymore. And this is the way we go on and on and on. Right, again, just put a bit of pasta inside because it's cooked. I don't want to be overcooked. Look at that. This is about 200 grams of a pasta will feed 2 people. Okay, saute now nicely. Let it comes along. Look at this creamy underneath. Start to get creamy, but you don't want them too much. Creamy, yeah. I put some extra virgin olive oil inside, which is unbelievable. When you mix with the water, extra virgin olive oil, you mix with the water, become a cream. But if you want to use a knob of a butter, there's nothing wrong at all. You can. We'll do all cream him up so nicely. Yeah, just put some extra one, it's done. Takes a minute. Get a plate. Get a little bit of cheese inside, just for me because I love it. Just put it on top here. Just stir it. Look at this. Oh my God. This is a must. Grab it. This is enough for two. I know you want to eat it. You can eat it, no trouble at all. You can if you do it. Oh yeah. There's no spoon inside here. Ah! Doesn't matter. Do you know what? Doesn't matter whatever I cook. I can always find the way around. Oh yeah. Stay there because I'm gonna eat this one. I can guarantee I will eat it. This is for you. That is for me. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's more for me. Well, I cooked it. And then you go back again with the lovely leftover breadcrumb you had, which you was going to throw them away. You toasted it a little bit. You put some sage, rosemary, thyme, a little bit parmesan on top. You sprinkle. And buon appetito. And this is linguine, which you can use plain as well, with Brussels sprout, pancetta or bacon, with a lovely flavor of breadcrumb, rosemary, sage, and thyme. Surely a bit of cheese on top. Buon Natale? Yes, but buon every day. Please do it. Please, everything you have inside the fridge, everything inside the house, you can use it. Let's recycle, but in a nice way. You find this fantastic satisfaction to say, hey, I had every single pieces. Now, I'll leave this one for you here. I go fork here, and like always I do it. I'm gonna taste it now. But first of all, I need also a little bit of my sprinkle crispy. Do you know what I call them this breadcrumb? Poor man cheese. I can't run anyway here. Oh yeah. Hot, hot, hot. I don't want to burn anyone. I will start first. Go node first. Node. Open up. Shout if you get burnt. Oh my. Come on, say one, this is so good. Come on.
Hello, all you lovely people. I've got a beautiful recipe for you. This is the most incredible rhubarb and custard tart. It's soft, gooey, gorgeous. It's got crumbly homemade pastry. It is an amazing thing that you can make with your friends and family. So what I'm going to do is split it up into the three parts. We've got the pastry, we've got a custard, and we've got a beautiful rhubarb and apple compote, okay? We're going to make it look amazing. Let me show you how to make the beautiful compote of rhubarb and apples. It's a great combination. So first up, this is forced rhubarb. And I'm gonna take the floury end off, but the beautiful stalks, that's the rhubarb, is amazing. There you go. All the leaves have gone. We'll compost this. We definitely don't want to eat this. We've got a kilo of this lovely rhubarb that's been washed. Just cut it up into like chunks about 3 centimeters in length. Get yourself a nice large pan, and on a high heat, medium high heat, I will add the rhubarb. So to go with this, I'm going to add some apples. So I've got 3 beautiful eating apples, about 500 grams, and I'm going to peel them. So using eating apples is really nice. They've got good texture. Each different type of eating apple has completely different flavour and texture. You need 500 grams. So peel them, quarter them, and then get rid of the core, cut them into 3 centimetre, then just cut them in half like that, big chunks. Stir in the apple like that. You can hear the heat happening now. 125 grams of sugar goes in, and then a little swig of water. Loads of liquid will come out of the rhubarb and the apple. It smells amazing. So I'm going to turn that down just a little bit, so it's just above medium. 15 minutes of cooking until tender. So for the custard, I want to go old school. In a pan here, it's not on the heat yet, we're going to go in with 500 mils of lovely milk. Grab yourself a tablespoon, not a dessert spoon. And we're going to go in with a level tablespoon of the custard powder. Do that 3 times, so 45 grams of custard powder. Just whisk in this lovely powder. Now I can put the temperature on. So into there, I'm going to add like 2 or 3 tablespoons of golden caster sugar and a good teaspoon or 2 of vanilla, right? So do it as much as you like. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons in. Look at that. Just whisk that up. So in no time at all, as that milk comes up to a simmer, can you see how it's thickened? So as this kind of just cooks out for a minute or 2, have a look at this. Look, it's getting really bubbly. Look at the colour. Look at the colour. I'm taking the lid off because it's getting excited in there. So into this baked blind pastry tart. So you can see it's steaming now. That will cool down for 20 minutes and naturally a skin will form on the top of that custard. So this has had 15 minutes. Turn it off. And we're going to pour it into that colander. Now, there's a reason that I do this, right? You've got the most incredible natural juice that comes out of this compote, okay? Look underneath and look at that beauty. That is extraordinary, right? So what's brilliant about this little method is gravity and the natural kind of filtering of this compote gives you 2 things. It gives you the perfect consistency to go on that custard, and then you get this incredible, natural, almost cordial that we can just boil up a little bit until it's thick, and you can drizzle it over your tart. So I'm going to let that cool down, and let that cool down, and just for 1 minute, let that kind of reduce and thicken, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I've just been rolling out the ball of pastry. So this is about the thickness of a pound coin. The custard has cooled down and you can see that natural skin. It's quite robust, okay? So now I'm going to put our amazing compote straight in the middle and then just use that spoon to flatten it out. Beautiful. So what I want to do now is get this beautiful pie top on here. I need a little bit of glue. So obviously we're going to use egg wash. So I've just beaten up 1 egg here. Just go around the little edge here. Super simple. What I'm going to do now is go to the edge of our pastry and put it around your rolling pin and then just roll up the whole thing, just like this. And then very simply, then unroll it over the top like that. And then you use this rolling pin again just to go around the edge. It's quite annoyingly satisfying to take or kind of crimp off the pastry. Really simple, really easy. And then we can use this pastry here to make some decorations, right? So we're going to dress this up now. And this is all optional extra stuff, right? Just take some almonds, flaked almonds, right? And a brilliant little tip is if you put some icing sugar, just a teaspoon or 2, right? Don't need much. And a little bit of water, just a few drips of water, right? You mix it up like this, and it goes a little bit claggy. And if you sprinkle this over the top like this, when that bakes, these almonds will be the best almonds you've ever had. Then, have a look at this. I've got ahead of the game. How amazing they are, right? So No talent has made this at all. I've cheated. So if you go online, you can get these little marzipan or pastry cutters. They are 2 a penny. They are cheap as chips. Let's have some fun with this. So I'm going to take a big one like this, go in, you push down, and then you must press the top bit like that. Then it comes off like that, and you just prise it away. And once you've got that, then we can lay this on our beautiful tart. Look at that. So we can do that with a few different shapes, and then I'll use the rest of these just to finish off this beautiful tart. And it just makes your rustic tart just look a little bit more special. Last but not least, a little bit more of the egg wash. You can give it a last little pinch of sugar. That's it, job's done. I'm now going to put this in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit, for about 40 to 45 minutes until golden and gorgeous. You're going to love it. So there you go, that is our incredible rhubarb and custard tart. It's gone gorgeous and golden. Look at the little almonds here. They've just kind of frosted in the most beautiful way. So look, let's just get into it because I want to show you exactly what's going on the inside. You ready? Look at that. Crispy pastry, gorgeous topping, the almonds, the rhubarb, the custard. Right, let's plate this up. It's gonna be really special. Take some of that beautiful liquor, the syrup from the rhubarb, and just give it a little drizzle on the top. Enough yapping, time to eat. Amazing. So there you go, guys. An absolute classic flavor combination. Beautiful, crumbly, homemade pastry. Enjoy.